Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be welcoming back Amanda Goldstein Marks, a very funny comedian from the South, who she's the co-host of the podcast Sis and Tell with her sister, Allison Goldstein Marks. And I'm having her back on the show today. There's really no narrative of today's show. I'm just going to have a chat with her, see how her career's going, and maybe I can tell her stories and stuff like that. And it's going to be pretty cool. Amanda's very funny and really cool. And I'm so fucking lucky with the people I get on this podcast. So, here is my new interview with Amanda Goldstein Marks. I got her name right this time.
Hey, Tommy.
Hey, Amanda. I got your name right.
That's good. Congratulations. You're one step closer to winning the prize.
What am I going to win?
You'll have to wait and find out.
I hope it's an orgasm. No, I'm just kidding.
Not on this game show.
Welcome back. How are you?
I'm good. How's your week going?
It's just another week, but things are going okay.
Cool.
I was listening to some of the newer episodes of your podcast yesterday, because yesterday was National Sister Day.
Oh my God, I totally missed that. What an Instagram hashtag fail.
Yeah. I love that episode you two did a couple weeks ago where you're talking about the sex toys.
Oh, yes. So I just started producing a show with a store and a sex toy and furniture manufacturer called Liberator. So that was around that experience.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's funny because I remember about 10 years ago, I slept with a girl who was a sex toy saleswoman.
I bet she knows everything. It was like when I went in, they gave me a tour, but everything was so it was like as if they were medical devices. You know, there was nothing like sexual about the explanations. It was just all very matter of fact. And it was so intriguing, and it looked like an art gallery. But it was like astounding how much the sex toys have changed in the past 20 years.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what they looked like 20 years ago, but I mean, to me, they all look the same.
There are so many shapes and colors and accessories, and there's Bluetooth, and there's apps, and there's pillows, and there's chaise lounges, and it's all for sex, and it's crazy.
Yeah, over 10 years ago, I slept with one sex toy saleswoman, and I went on a date with another, and they're both pretty funny stories. The date one happened first in 2008. I went to this sex shop in my hometown, and I was looking for a dildo to use on myself, right? And I went in there, and I got it, and then I wanted to go into the whatchamacallit, the nudie booths, you know, to watch porn, you know, and
yeah, is it live? Is that what a nudie booth is, or is it like you're watching?
It's a porno
television show.
It's porno movie.
Okay.
And then after I come out, you know, I apologized for dirtying up the screen, and she's like, "Oh, that's okay." And then I asked her out, and she said yes, and I couldn't believe she said yes. She was this.
I bet, yeah.
Yeah, she was this pretty Latin girl. She was 21. I was 25 at the time. And so we went to the Cheesecake Factory, and we had a very interesting dinner of lots of awkward silence and lots of sexual tension. And after dinner, we went to her car, and all she let me do all night was like feel the back of her head, and that was that, you know?
Yeah.
It was weird.
There wasn't even a kiss?
There was not a kiss. and stuff. And I
Was there a
remember
second date?
there wasn't a second date. There was supposed to be. We were supposed to go to a bowling alley, but she flaked on me and stuff. But what I remember the most, and this would explain why she was weird. I remember she had very bad breath and she had stinky feet. I remember. She took
her feet were so stinky you could smell them?
No, she took her shoes off.
Yeah.
And I think in hindsight,
she wasn't wearing socks. She probably wasn't wearing socks.
No.
Makes your feet smell.
No. I think in hindsight, she may have been a crystal meth addict.
Oh.
Yeah.
What are the telltale signs of a meth addict besides like bad breath, the skin? Or she like scratching on her skin?
No. It wasn't that bad. But then about a year later, I see her on the bus, and she's got a boyfriend who's also Latino, and they were speaking to each other in Spanish. And I thought to myself, oh, good for her. Glad she found somebody that was, her match. But I don't know why the fuck she went out with me. I really don't.
Well, I think you go out with people to figure out if you want to go out with them more. So maybe it just wasn't a connection,
Yeah. Yeah. By that time, I was really, I had lost all this weight. I was really skinny, and I still had a lot of hair left. I mean, I was pretty cute at that time, so that could be it too. But
it was the zenith of your cute phase.
The zenith, yeah. And then a year later, so I used to go to this bar for karaoke at this hotel, and I went there this one night, and this woman who was like, she was like in town. I think she used to live in my hometown, but now she lived in Sacramento, and she was down there to like get away and stuff. And she was actually going to stay at that hotel, but then she saw how expensive it was, so she went to another one down the road. And so she took me to that hotel afterwards, and oh my God, she had all these dildos and vibrators in her suitcase and stuff. I mean, we had a fun night.
I wonder what you do, like did you take that stuff in your carry-on? Like when you go through TSA, do they say anything? What happens if you get searched?
I don't think she drove actually.
Oh, she drove. Okay.
Yeah, she drove. But I don't know.
I have a friend. Yeah, I have a friend who travels with her toys, and she got one of them stolen out of her bag, which I think when it was at the when she went through the airport, which is like really, kind of gross, right? That's not something you want to use secondhand.
Yeah. Yeah, secondhand is no good in the case of sex toys. I mean, you could catch something.
Even if you, I guess, gave it a good washing, that's just secondhand sex toy sounds like the worst thing in the world to get as a hand-me-down, especially from like a sibling or something, which most hand-me-downs come from.
Oh my God. Are sex toys dishwasher safe?
I guess it depends on if it has any electronics that are a part of it. I don't know. I'm not an aficionado. I just produce a stand-up comedy show at a sex store. I'm like the least knowledgeable person. We would have to Google that.
Wow. So tell me, at this sex store that you're doing comedy at, is there like beer for the audience?
Yeah, so they do free wine. It's a free show, and they have wine. They give tickets out, and everyone can get 2 drinks. And last time we had cookies and pretzels and a 25% discount. And then I co-produce it with my friend Olivia, who is actually the store manager, and she does these product demos in between the comedians.
Wow.
Pretty detailed product demos. But she does it in such like a humorous way and factual that there's like any sort of sexual innuendo, I guess it's past the point of innuendo at that point. It's just, it's comfortable for everyone. And I think having a comedy show there gives people the a leeway that they didn't feel like they had before to go to that store when they wouldn't have. It's like an excuse. So I think they're getting a lot of shop goers who are new and wouldn't necessarily go into the store.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God! So I was all lined up to move to Los Angeles this summer, and I got fucked over by the person I was going to be staying with. She got in trouble with the law and stuff. I was going to open the most brilliant idea for an open mic. I was going to go to one of the local theaters out there, where plays happen and performances, a playhouse, and do an open mic that was open to professionals, amateurs, whoever, and have them sell beer and stuff too. And I thought that would be a brilliant idea because the comedy clubs are becoming so much more corporate, and it's so hard, especially in LA, for people to get stage time. I wanted to open an open mic for everyone, and it looks like that's going to be on hold.
Pay? Do you have to pay to perform in LA, or is that just rumor?
Pay to pay in LA. There's a club called the Ha Ha Cafe, and you have to pay like $5 for 5 minutes, or $10 for 10 minutes, and I think there's $20 for 20 minutes too, and there's like $20 if you want to buy a DVD of your set, and all that stuff if you want it recorded and stuff. But other than that, I don't know if all the places are like that.
Right. Gosh, that's so. We don't do the pay to play concept in Atlanta, and so many comedians are also producing shows here, in a very creative way. It's not just straight up stand up, and there's just so much opportunity here. I cannot imagine being in a city where you have to pay to get up on stage. That sounds awful.
I know, and there's also a lot of places out in LA, not just the clubs, but also the dive bars that have lottery and stuff, which I think is pretty insulting.
Well, yeah, we do. I mean, for open mics, we do the bucket spots and lists and stuff like that. But I mean, that's open. Is it a lottery for open mic, or that's a little different than a booked show lottery?
In some open mics that are in bars out in LA, yes, but they're in all the clubs. You have to do a lottery. Yeah. And 3 years ago, the first time I went to LA in adulthood, I went to the Comedy Store and the Improv. Could not get on with the lottery. Then this is so funny. Wednesday night, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. I went to the Ice House. I put my name in 3 times without the guy looking, and by the time that the show started, it didn't matter because the guy asked me where I was from and what I did for a living. I said I'm from San Francisco. I'm a comic. And then he came up to me after he introduced the first comedian and said, "I'm going to give you stage time tonight." So the 3 names that I put in the bucket did not matter.
Maybe that is your good luck charm. Everywhere you go, you need to put your name in 3 times. And maybe that's where you failed with the girl from the sex store. You should have written your name down 3 times and shoved it in her pocket, and then maybe you would have had better luck.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. So then I went up and I didn't do that good, but it was great. I could say that I performed at the Ice House once.
Yeah, that's cool. People always ask if I've ever bombed, and I'm like, if you haven't bombed, you haven't been doing stand-up long enough. And I think, or you are not self-aware. I think every comedian, especially at the beginning, bombs. But even, I've performed on a show recently, and we all pretty much bombed. But we were in such good company and made everyone feel better. It was just, I think people like to blame the audience, but maybe I'm sure I could have done a better job of performing. But it did, there's something psychological about when you're with a lineup of comedians who you respect, who've been doing it longer, who you've seen. There was a comedian who I performed with, and I've seen her turn those crowds turn the crowd to be more receptive, but it was still a really hard crowd, and she still had a hard time. But I was like, wow, she's having a hard time. They're just not in a laughing mood. So I just move on and keep going.
I think everyone is to blame. I think the audience, the comedian, and whoever puts the comedian on. I think they're all to blame. You know, sometimes they're not the right combination.
Right, yeah. Maybe they weren't drunk enough. We should have gotten them drunker. Sometimes also, like, when the venue is so bright, it's kind of uncomfortable to laugh. Like, some people have a hard time.
Yeah, some people have trouble, and also they also get offended too, which is what I wanted to ask you. Have you heard about this new woke comedy culture?
You mean just people talking about more like political activism?
Yeah, they're like, you know, they're like quote unquote clean, you know, thoughtful comics, you know, calling dirty comics out on social media for saying controversial things.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, they just don't. They're not making fun of minorities or anything like that. Is that what you mean?
Oh yeah.
Or they proactively call out comics who do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they call out the comics who do that.
Right. Well, you know, I think, like, I'm not a comedian who uses other people in my material, you know, like, I'm not someone who, I don't actually talk about politics all that often. I have, like, one joke I do about Donald Trump, and it's more about my kids and something they said about him.
Yeah.
And I just, you know, I see where they're coming from. I think that people can be more clever than that. It just depends on the joke, you know. It's just kind of old hat to get super blue or to make fun of a minority. It's just, I just have seen more clever comedians, and I think people can do better. But I think, you know, there are people who call out other comedians via hearsay of something they heard another comedian say on stage through someone else, like they weren't there. And I do have a problem with that. I think people have to be super careful about, you know, it's like also like we have to give some comedians a break. Maybe they're testing out new material. They made a mistake by saying a shitty joke, and I don't think it's fair to take someone down because of something they've said in an open mic that they were trying out, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that happened to Louis C.K. when he made his comeback in New York. You know, he was trying out new stuff because he hadn't done it in almost a year since the scandal, and everyone got pissed.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think it's more than just the shitty joke he told at an open mic, or not an open mic, a book show that he was trying out new material. I think there's a whole history to that, and him, you know, not really apologizing, or him needing to, you know, be more sensitive to the environment. Mm-hmm. That's what happens when you masturbate in front of people who don't want to see your dick.
Yeah.
He created that own situation for himself, so I don't feel sorry for him at all. He fucked up. He did. He really fucked up.
Yeah.
And I think if he didn't get called out, he'd still be doing that shit.
Yeah, this fucking comedian that I called out as a joke thief in the Bay Area, he fucking has gone around telling people that I did that to some female comic, but yet he can't like, you know, mention her name. He can't, like, you know, ask a female comedian to, like, you know, go along with it and shit, you know, because he's trying to, like, ruin me and shit, you know.
Oh, he made up stuff about you?
Yeah.
Wow, that's fucked up.
It is. I'm persona non grata in a lot of places. I got fucking messages from people saying, "You show your face around here, sucker. You'll live to regret it." I mean, it was pretty bad.
That's scary. Well, so no one ever said exactly. Did people say this is what someone said you did, and you have no recollection of doing it, or you didn't do it, or what? Like, are people just being so generic that you don't even know what you're being accused of.
They're being generic, yes, because it never happened. You know, they're not even mentioning a name. They're just saying that I did that, you know, but it's like, come on. I mean, come on. If once I start my podcast and then the Me Too movement happens, they all fucking, you know, come up with this shit so they can try to sabotage me, you know?
Yeah. Wow. Well, you just kind of have, that's why social media can be really fucked up. I think sometimes it's better just take a break sometimes. But, you know, people will create a reputation for you, even if you're not on social media. So it can get a little scary. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was pretty fucked up. It was a year, though, before I heard all the facts, though. They were just, people started distancing themselves from me and fucking threatening me. And then I remember I made a trip down to the Bay Area to work on some material because I was auditioning for America's Got Talent for the third time. And this one comedian was like calling me out on stage. He did 2 nights in a row, and I came so close to beating the shit out of him. I mean, I was pissed. And now he's in LA, and I've warned people about him because that's what he does. When he runs out of material, he starts doing crowd work, and if there's comics in the room, he starts trying to make jokes out of their personal drama on Facebook and everything. And it hurts a lot of people's feelings. I've seen some people want to fight him after he gets off stage.
Oh. He was also auditioning for America's Got Talent?
Oh, no. It was just everyone was working out material at the open mics.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, the scene can sometimes be toxic, you know? I feel very lucky to be in Atlanta where I think everyone's super supportive.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're being called out on something, there's facts to back it up. You know, I think all you've got is your reputation. You have to be super careful about who you associate with. And so, sorry, it sounds like some shitty person made up something about you, and it just kind of was like wildfire.
Yeah, and I know how it got started, too, because I used to do a joke on stage about jacking off in front of my ex-girlfriend, who every time I did it, mm-hmm. she would smile like the Grinch. That was my joke, and so I know he started that rumor based on that. So.
Oh God! So he took your joke and turned it into you did that to a female comedian?
Yeah, a female comedian driving me back from an open mic, and no female comic has ever driven me back from an open mic. I've never even been in a car with one.
Yeah. Do you feel like what's the best way to move forward from something like that? Is it hard because, you know, it's your reputation, and I remember when I was little, I didn't like someone calling me a liar on the playground or accusing me of something I didn't do, you know? So I just cannot imagine being in your situation where, I mean, that's really intense. How have you dealt with that?
Well, this is the thing. I mean, San Francisco has become so woke and so just politically correct in general. All the women trying to do comedy in San Francisco are feminists, and they're actually just as dirty as the guys, but they don't want the guys being dirty at all, you know? And you can't joke with them off stage about anything dirty because they think that they're being hit on. But the way I see it is this, okay? I'm only persona non grata in a lot of places in the Bay Area, and I can't get stage time in a lot of places there now. But I have interviewed so many wonderful comics in other areas, including LA and stuff, and they know that I'm joking, you know, when I talk dirty and stuff, and that's just a persona and everything. So I think my perseverance is can be predicated on, you know, them knowing that, you know, I'm not who the fucking Bay Area thinks I am, you know, and who they say that I am, you know. And another thing too, a lot of these Bay Area comedians, they never even got to know me off stage because I would try to talk to them and they would just be rude to me because I killed, and then, you know, they went on and then they didn't kill, you know. And I have Asperger's syndrome too, and so that's a threat, you know, in and of itself to a lot of these people.
Well, I mean, I can't speak from your perspective, I can speak from a female comedian's perspective and say that I've been in situations where guys will say weird things to me off stage.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times it's been audience members who'll say like the most disgusting things to me.
Oh, yeah.
And they think it's okay because I may have been joking about that on stage, and it's just not. I don't, care how funny you think you are or if it's your persona. You have to be aware of what happens off stage because you're not on stage, and even though you were trying to be funny and you weren't trying to hit on them, if they don't know you, right? They don't know you personally, and they don't know that you were just joking with them, then it can come across as just icky and offensive,
Right.
And everyone should be able to talk about what they want on stage without hearing that from another comedian off stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a minority comedian. I talk about being Jewish, and there's certain things that I say on stage that if like a non-Jew came up to me and said something obnoxious about Jews, I would be offended, and just because even if they're being funny and just joking, it's not cool. I think there's a difference between saying something on stage and saying something when the show's over.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's funny. I listened to the Comedy Store podcast, and this female comic who co-hosts, Eleanor Kerrigan, she's so dirty and so funny, and she's like not offended by anything, and I think that a lot of these female comedians in the Bay Area, if they were in the room with her on the podcast, oh my God, she would not like them.
Right.
But
everyone's got their own style,
Yeah, everyone's got their own style, the way they do things, and and a lot of people don't realize too, comedy is subjective.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
People don't think about that though, especially certain comics. They're like, this guy's not funny. Yeah, but you see the audience laughing, right?
It's you, right?
Exactly.
Right. And you know what? I think it's also okay for people to have a niche. Not everyone can be a generalist, and it's okay to understand your brand and who your best audience is, and go after that audience.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But your comedy career is going great overall?
Yeah, I mean, I have got this new show I'm working on. I'm working on another show that's localized in Decatur, and I had a really good summer. Things tend to slow down for me as the school year starts because I've got 3 kids, so my schedule's not as flexible. I can't, weeknight shows are hard unless they're in town. I've actually have 2 shows coming up. One is tonight that's about 20 miles away. And if, you're imagine, driving 20 miles in LA, and how long that would take you. It's the equivalent to Atlanta. So I've got that show. I've got a show in Buckhead, which is about 45 minutes from my house, which, it doesn't sound that far, but when you've got 3 kids and a husband and all these other things going on, it's a lot to juggle. So sometimes life wins and sometimes family life wins. So just depends on the week.
Or sometimes it kicks you in the ass. Like in my case, this last few months have been, oh my God, it's been the worst. I went to LA for a week back in April and had a great time. I was looking forward to projects that I was going to be doing when I got back. I was supposed to do a pilot for my very own horror show that was, self-financed. I had my comedy mentor in the Bay Area, and a couple of non-comedian friends of mine. We were going to get together and just have a good time. I wrote this hilarious script for it. And then my mentor fucking fucked me over big time, and I'm not talking to him anymore. He was supposed to come in.
What happened?
He was supposed to come.
You've been fucked over a lot, Tommy.
I have been. I'm unique. I'm not for everybody. I know that, but I'm a good person. But so he was supposed to produce the thing, and he knew exactly what dates we were going to do it. And he told me, we had to work around his day job. And I said, okay. So I picked this Saturday. It was like May 4th or something. Yeah, I don't know, May 11th. And so May 8th, he texts me, stuff. And I said, it's this Saturday. And he's like, you didn't tell me that. And I was like, yeah, I did. And he's like, no, you didn't. And I was like, yeah, I did. So I forwarded him the text messages, and I never heard back from him. And
oh, man.
And he was making excuses before that and everything. And just, I was so mad because I just, I built everyone's anticipation up. We were going to have a good time. And then he did that to me.
Well, yeah, it's hard to work on projects when there's little to no budget, little to no money involved. I think people tend to get super flaky unless they are like a co-creator and you guys come up with it together. I have a friend who does a lot of shows around Atlanta, and he has a podcast. He's like one of the most creative people I know, but he has a super hard time with keeping people that work with him and help him on all these projects. And it's, when you don't get paid for something, I think people end up prioritizing their other stuff, unless you have someone that's like super reliable and that you're close with and that created the concept with you. It's hard. I think that happens to a lot of people, though.
Yeah, because they don't know the old model. And I've interviewed a lot of these people who started out at the Comedy Store in the 70s in the Groundlings comedy troupe. They were at humble beginnings. It was not a business back then. They were building it from the ground up, and that's what I do, and so many people, right. All they fucking care about now is money, and it just drives me crazy.
Yeah. Well, then maybe that's like the solution is like finding someone who's as passionate as you are about the concept. You know what I mean? Because I think when you like start pulling people in, and they do it as a favor, they do it because they're friends with you. They, oh, that sounds fun. That's when those people flake out, But when you find someone who's like really in line with your thoughts creatively and they feel like a part of the project, then there's maybe more stick-to-itiveness with keeping them on the project if they, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like and it's hard. It's hard to find someone who's a creative partner. I used to do a web series called The Walking Dads with my friend Michael, and we would give parenting and relation tips to people who had survived the zombie apocalypse. That was like the concept. That we had this like cable access show during the zombie apocalypse, and we played off with each other so well, and then he got to a point where he got too busy and couldn't do the show anymore, was totally okay with me finding a new co-host and continuing on with it, but I just didn't want to, I was like, I'm not going to be able to find another Michael. We vibed creatively, he was as into it as I was, and I just was like, I'm just going to retire it, and it ended.
That's a good idea for a show. You should try something like that again. That'd be pretty funny.
It's still, I uploaded. We had a website with all the content at a certain point, and I ended up just creating I let that domain fall to the wayside and created a Facebook page and just reposted all the videos, and I just have left it, and we have like this weird following of people from South America who have found it. It's so interesting because I haven't done anything, and I just every week I'll get these notifications that all these people have liked the page, and it's everyone from the South America region, and I'm not, it's kind of on autopilot at this point.
Yeah, the people that was going to be in the pilot, they were very enthusiastic. Every day they were asking me, what are we going to do, and stuff like that. I tried to get some of my podcast guests who are in show business in the Bay Area to get on, and everyone was not available, but one comedian that I know who's in her 50s what was going to do it, and I had all this, oh my God, hilarious, inappropriate stuff that she was willing to do with me in there, and it was going to be great. You know, she wasn't one of the woke female comics. You know, she was on the same page as I was. You know, because she gets my persona of this incel fanboy that I play. You know, on this podcast and in my stand-up now.
Right.
And you know, who knows? Maybe someday I'll get it done, but right now, I'm just trying to figure out what my future holds since I'm not going to LA anytime soon. And and oh my God! So in the same week, I lost that place I was going to stay. I lost that show, and then my mom tripped and she hurt both of her arms.
Oh my God! Like she broke them? What happened?
Fractured them. She had surgery. She was at work, and some office equipment.
What a nightmare!
Yeah, some office equipment wasn't moved, and she hurt herself. It's just been the worst summer ever for me.
I'm sorry. That's a lot. That's a lot to have going on.
Yeah, and there's other things too, but I don't need to bring it up again. But I'm keeping my head up high. You know, I'm gonna persevere like I always do.
Persevere.
Yes, that's my new word now. It's funny. It's one of those words I didn't really know for a long time, but now I do.
Yeah, I read an article and it was saying that the more, and I'm not saying you're complaining because you've had a lot of stuff going on. It's legitimate, but that is something I tell my kids, that if you tend to be a complainer, if you complain a lot, you're rewiring your brain for sadness and depression. So it's hard, you know, sometimes you don't want to minimize any experience you're going through, but the more you concentrate on the bad things, then your brain just becomes, and you become sadder and sadder. So I think that perseverance is a great quality, and I'm glad to hear you say that. And you just have to, I think, use anything that happens as like a learning experience, right? Or a good story, you know? And
absolutely. So there's this game that I like to play with guests, and how this game works is I ask these silly slumber party questions, and you answer them, and then you ask me, and then I answer the same question.
Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. What are the questions going to be? Okay. Shoot. What's the first question?
Amanda, are you ticklish?
I don't like being tickled, but I am. I'm not really. Am I ticklish? I don't know. I feel like I punch people before they can tickle me.
Yeah, I am very ticklish, and I've been known to hit some people in the groin.
Oh yeah. My dad is so ticklish that I can just put my finger up, and he just like starts laughing. It's really a fun game to play.
What is your favorite part of the body?
Of like my husband's body, of my body, or just the body in general?
Just the body in general.
I mean, I would say as a comedian, I like people's mouths, because I like to see the mouths laughing. That's my favorite thing to see. Someone laughing at me.
Oh.
What about you?
I have always loved, and you're not going to be surprised by this, I have always loved the belly button.
Oh my God, that's like my least favorite part of the body.
Wow. I didn't even realize that you didn't like it that much.
Oh, golly, I just don't like my belly button. So it's ruined all belly buttons for me.
Oh, that's too bad. What color are your toenails painted?
White.
White.
What color are your toenails painted?
They are not colored right now, but when I went to LA back in April, they were blue-green because of Easter.
Oh, color coordinated with the holidays.
Yeah. And my favorite question, is there a stinky smell that just makes you gag?
Oh my God. I have been blessed and can't stand body odor unless my husband's been playing soccer, and then I like that body odor, if that makes sense. But I would say just bad body fart smells. Fart smells, like gassy diarrhea fart smells. That's disgusting. There we go.
I had really bad athlete's foot the first 6 months that I was out of the hospital from my accident. That was the worst ever. That and farts.
No, the worst is because it's coming from your own body. I think I could stand my own farts as other people's farts.
Do you have a really good joke to close this out on?
I have so many good jokes, and you have to come hear them tonight at the Gaslight in Roswell, which I'm sure this is going to be, the podcast can be posted another time. Come hear my jokes by listening to my podcast at sisandtell.com.
Okay, I have a joke. It's a little misogynistic, though, but it's funny. How do you make...
That's like saying, I don't mean to be a bitch, but... And then whatever you say is going to sound really bitchy.
It's like...
So we know your joke is going to be misogynistic. At least you admitted it.
It's a joke that makes a lot of comics laugh. How do you make your wife scream twice?
I don't know.
First you fuck her up the ass, and then...
Sorry.
Oh. First you fuck her up the ass, and then you wipe your dick on the curtain.
Oh, that's gross. I wouldn't even say that's misogynistic.
Really?
I'm thinking like wiping your dick on the curtain. God, you got to go get that dry cleaned. That's annoying.
Yeah, that would leave a huge stain. That would be like, you would have to introduce...
Clean this spot.
Yeah, you'd have to introduce your son to it. Hey, this is your new brother.
Oh, Lord. It was great talking to you, Tommy.
Well, Amanda, thank you so much for coming back on. And it's always fun to talk to you. And you got any new episodes of your podcast coming up?
Every Friday, we post a new podcast, and you can listen wherever you get your podcast or visit sisandtell.com.
Yes, and I recommend it. Thank you so much, Amanda.
See you on Facebook.
See you on Facebook.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Amanda Goldstein Marks. Ain't she a sweetheart? Yes, she is, and a very funny lady, and very smart and insightful. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes.